Hello, welcome to my channel Christian Faith and Fiction. My name's Lou. Today I'm going to share with you some Christian fiction books that I found that are releasing in August 2023. So these are the books that I've been able to find. If you know of any other books, please do leave them down in the comments. Also, as we're going through, if any of the books stand out to you as ones you might want to read, also let me know and share that with us all. I have separated them out into different genres, and the dates are correct at the time I was compiling the list, although sometimes they are subject to last minute changes. These books are listed as Christian fiction on Amazon, but I don't know exactly where they'll fit in the category, so sometimes it's just brief mention, sometimes it's the whole plot of the book centres around their faith, and I like to give ratings in the reviews, but obviously I haven't read these books yet. So in Mystery and Suspense, Countdown by Lynette. Eason releases on the 1st of August and is published by Revell. Flight paramedic Raina Price has been running so long it's hard to stop. To escape a dangerous stalker, she's changed her name and disappeared, building a new life with the help of a friend from her time in juvie. It feels good to put her energies into saving people's lives, but because her stalker was never found, she's never stopped looking over her shoulder, and one can only run so far before the past finally catches up. US Marshal Vincent Corelli's job is to hunt down fugitives and protect those who are assigned to him. When Raina is almost killed right in front of him, he vows to protect her at all costs, whether it's his job or not. Lethal Range by Ryan Steck is releasing on the 8th of August and is published by Tyndale House. On an island off the coast of Spain, Matthew Red and his FBI fly team survey a luxury villa in hopes of catching a high-value fugitive. But when Red leads an unauthorized raid on the villa, he discovers they've been set up and he is sent home to face the consequences of defying orders. Meanwhile, Red's wife Emily is on a remote stretch of Montana Road driving their sick baby to the doctor when she finds her SUV surrounded by a biker gang intent on harassing her. In historical fiction, The Starlet Spy by Rachel Scott McDaniel is releasing on the 1st of August and it's published by Barber Fiction. In 1943, movie producer Henrik Zoltan approaches Amelie Blake under the guise of offering the Hollywood star a leading part in his upcoming film, but he has a more meaningful role in mind. Amelie's homeland of Sweden declared neutrality in the war, but Stockholm has become the Casablanca of the North. When top-secret atomic research goes missing in Sweden, the Allied forces scramble to recover the files before they fall into Nazi hands. The United States Office of Strategic Services needs someone who's subtle enough to spy on the Swedish elite without triggering suspicion. Who better than the all-beauty, no-brains Scandinavian Starlet? Fluent in 3 languages and possessing a brilliant memory, Amelie loathes being labelled witless, but uses the misconception as her disguise. To Free the Stars by Janelle Ciesielski is releasing on the 8th of August and it's published by Thomas Nelson. The first book in this series was listed as Christian fiction, but this book too is not. I don't know why, so take that as it will. I don't know how much of the description I can read of this one without spoiling the first one, so I'll just read the first bit. The Great War consumes all in its path, but for the assassins at Talon it's just another day on the job, until a new threat rises from the smoke of war-torn Europe to obliterate the world as they know it. The Girl from the Papers by Jennifer L. Wright releases on the 8th of August and that's published by Tyndale House. Inspired by one of America's most notorious couples, Bonnie and Clyde, Jennifer L. Wright delivers a riveting tale set during the Public Enemy era of the Great Depression. Beatrice Carraway has dreams. Although she's aged out of the childhood pageant circuit, she's intent on carrying her talents all the way to the big screen, if only she can escape the poverty of West Dallas first. But as the Great Depression drags the working class further and further under, Beatrice struggles just to keep herself, her mother, and her younger sister afloat. After a string of failed auditions, she feels defeated. Then in walks Jack Turner. Though Beatrice is determined to pull herself up by her bootstraps, Jack has decided on a different path out of the gutters. It isn't long before Beatrice is swept into an exciting and glamorous life of crime beside the man she loves. Keeping one step ahead of the law, she sees her dreams of fame come true when her name and picture are plastered in newspapers across the country. Yet as their infamy grows, the distance between them widens. Cloak of Scarlet by Melanie Dickerson releases on the 15th of August and it's published by Thomas Nelson. Violet Lambton never imagined herself as anything but average. Adopted as a young child, she's content with her comfortable life in her small medieval town, with her faith, her books, and her baking, and the vivid red cloak her grandmother gifted her. Her one dream, to find a love that is pure and true. Then her beloved grandmother is robbed by the villainous Baron Dunham. Outraged, Violet finds herself in the midst of the action and determines to put an end to the evil Baron's mistreatment of the hard-working people. Sir Merrick, a knight in the service of Baron Dunham, has pledged his life to fighting injustice and defending the weak, but when he encounters the spirited and beautiful Violet and discovers the depths of the Baron's treachery, he realizes that serving his employer is not serving the kingdom, and so he sets out on a daring journey to go behind the Baron's back to expose his deceitfulness to the king. Letters from My Sister by Valerie, Fraser, Luesse releases on the 15th of August and is published by Revell. At the turn of the 20th century, sisters Emmy and Callie Bullock are living a privileged life as the only daughters of a wealthy Alabama cotton farmer when their well-ordered household gets turned upside down by the arrival of Lily McGee. Interestingly beautiful, Lily quickly and innocently draws the wrong kind of attention. Meanwhile, Callie meets a man who offers her the freedom to abandon social constraints and discover her truest self. After Lily has a baby, Callie witnesses something she was never meant to see, or did she? Her memories are haze, just an image in her mind of Emmy standing on a darkened riverbank and cradling Lily's missing baby girl. Only when the sisters are separated does the truth slowly come to light through their letters, including a revelation that will shape the rest of Callie's life. Beautiful Disguise by Roseanna M. White is releasing on the 22nd of August and is published by Bethany House. Left with an estate on the brink of bankruptcy, after their father's death, Lady Marigold Fairfax and her brother open a private investigation firm marketed to the elite, to spy on the elite. Dubbed the Imposters Limited, their anonymous group soon becomes the go-to for the creme of society when they want answers delivered surreptitiously. But the many secrets Marigold learns about her peers pale in comparison to her shock when she and her brother are hired to investigate her best friend's father as a potential traitor. In contemporary romance, Positively Penelope by Pepper Basham releases on the 1st of August and this is published by Thomas Nelson. Told mostly through letters, text and email. Penelope Edgeworth is practically positive in every way, so when fresh out of college she is awarded a paid internship to help save a century-old theatre on the island of Skymar, she jumps at the chance. After all, a crumbling theatre needs the special touch of someone who reveres all things vintage and adores the stage. Unfortunately, not everything is as it seems at Darling House Theatre. Finances are in shambles, the local theatre group is disenchanted, and the two brothers Matt and Alec Gray can't seem to see eye to eye about how to run their theatrical business, so of course it's the perfect place for Penelope to shine her own personal brand of sunshine. With a little help from GK, the person emailing her encouragement along the way, she puts all her heart into helping the Greys save Darling House, but between Matt's ever-present skepticism and Alec's tendency to treat Penelope a little too much like the princess she thinks she wants to be until someone actually started treating her that way, a grandfather who is stuck in his grief, and a mysterious person stealing Penelope's marketing ideas, she's not sure her optimism is enough to make a happily ever after of her own story, let alone the Darling House's. The Love Script by Toni Shiloh is releasing on the 1st of August, and this is published by Bethany House. Hollywood hairstylist Neve Richards loves making those in the spotlight shine, but prefers the anonymity of staying behind her stylist chair where no one notices her. But when a photo of Neve and Hollywood heartthrob Lamont Booker goes viral for all the wrong reasons, her quiet life becomes the #1 trending topic. Lamont Booker's bold faith has gained him a platform, and the authenticity of his faith is well known, until the tabloids cause the world to question everything he claims to be. With his reputation on the line, he finds himself hearing out his agent's push for a fake relationship, something he never thought he'd consider in a million years. Summer in the Spotlight by Liz Johnson is releasing on the 1st of August and is published by Bethany House. A hurricane may have destroyed her livelihood on Prince Edward Island, but she's determined to save her community. Kelsey Ahern has performed at the Victoria Playhouse on Prince Edward Island every summer since she was 7, but when a hurricane destroys the building, it's not just her memories that are in jeopardy. Her future as a teacher and drama coach are too. She teams up with Levi Ross, the facilities director at the high school, to produce a benefit show to raise money to rebuild the theatre. He has a reputation for being able to fix anything, and Kelsey is sure there's more to the quiet man than meets the eye. For his part, Levi has admired Kelsey for years, but he can't seem to find the words to tell her. When a popular weatherman arrives in town to cover the aftermath of the hurricane and takes an interest in Kelsey and her show, Levi realizes that the time has come to speak up or lose the heart of the woman he longs for. See You in Seattle by Brooke St. James is releasing in paperback on the 29th of August. This is already available in ebook. A lovely heartwarming story of a man who was so focused on his career that there was only one woman in the world who could distract him from it in the best way possible. McLean had made a series of disciplined life choices. He was now 30 years old and a successful professional athlete. He lived in a beautiful mansion in Seattle with plenty of room to surround himself with family and friends. He devoted all his time and energy to his career, and he had no interest in starting a serious relationship with a woman. He certainly would never think of looking up his childhood crush on social media so he could contact her in an effort to reconnect. Mac would never do that. He wasn't even the social media type. His sister Katie was, but she wouldn't do something as bold as reaching out to Morgan Lake on his behalf and without his permission. Or maybe she would. Also, The Sweetest Thing by Brooke St. James is releasing on the 29th of August in paperback and is also available already in ebook. My mother wrote a young adult novel that eventually became a Hollywood blockbuster hit. Somehow, during production of the movie, I became friends with the star. Heath Vick was Hollywood's favourite leading man, a heartthrob for sure. We instantly hit it off, but he was in a long-term relationship, so we ended up being friends. Then, out of the blue, Heath decided to leave her and set his sights on me. He was rich and famous, and he assumed he would have my undivided attention the second he wanted it. But by the time that happened, my heart already belonged to someone else. Hero Debut by Angela Ruth Strong releases on the 29th of August and is published by Craigle. Gemma Bennett is the leading lady of her own life, and her true love is writing screenplays. With her trusty pink notebook in hand, she signs up for the Citizens Safety Academy to research her newest blockbuster hope, a rom-com with a police officer as a hero, and the fact that the handsome and heroic Lieutenant Carson Zellner is the one leading the training, well, who can blame her for wanting to spend evenings with the man she swooned over months ago when he responded to a call at her apartment. Carson already had his fair share of problems before Gemma shows up, and he's not exactly a fan of the ditzy blonde who can't seem to stay out of trouble. The last thing he needs is a damsel in distress to rescue. There are plenty of people in real need of his help. The fact that she seems to think that his job makes him a superhero is just one more strike against her. This isn't a movie, and he feels like the furthest thing from a leading man. In biblical fiction, Voice of the Ancient by Connilyn Cossette releases on the 15th of August and is published by Bethany House. As the eldest son of a Levite and a Philistine, Avidan is torn between his duty to his family legacy and the desire for something more. When Ammonites attack the city of Yavash Gilead, he takes the opportunity to fight with his cousins for the newly crowned King Saul. But when one of the cousins goes missing during the battle, Avidan stays behind to search for him in hopes that he's still alive. Kezia is the daughter of one of the most powerful clan chiefs in the territory of Manasseh. On the brink of a forced marriage to a loathsome man decades older than her, she has no choice but to run. Dressed as a boy, she takes her horse and heads for the south, hoping to find sanctuary with her mother's family. Battling to survive the dangers surrounding them, Avidan and Kezia make a pact to travel together. And in contemporary fiction, He Should Have Told the Bees by Amanda Cox releases on the 29th of August and is published by Revell. Beekeeper Beckett Walsh is living her dream, working alongside her father in their apiary, until his untimely death sends her world into a tailspin. She suddenly finds she must deal with a new part owner of the family business, one who is looking to sell the property. Beck cannot fathom why her father would put her into the position to lose everything they built together. When Callie Peterson is named in the trust of a man she's never heard of, she's not sure what to do. Her fledgling business has just taken wing, and her mother has re-entered her life asking for help getting into rehab for her lifelong substance abuse issues, making Callie's financial situation rather precarious. As these two women navigate their present conundrum, they will discover a complex and entangled past full of secrets and the potential for a brighter future for both of them. And An American Immigrant by Johanna Rojas Vann releases on the 15th of August and is published by Waterbrook. 25-year-old Melanie Carvajal, a hard-working but struggling journalist for a Miami newspaper, loves her Colombian mother but regularly ignores her phone calls, frustrated that she never quite takes the time to understand Melanie's life. When the opportunity arises for a big assignment that might save her flagging career, Melanie follows the story to the land of her mother's birth. She soon realizes Colombia has the potential to connect her, after all these years, to the love of her mother, her family, and the richest parts of herself. So those are all the books I have for you today, quite a few actually. Let me know in the comments which ones sound like ones that you would read in the future or you're excited about reading at some point. Which ones would you put on your wish list for the future? I hope you're having a great reading week at the moment, and until next time, God bless. Bye.